If you live in Salt Lake City, it is no secret that there's tons of incredible artwork to look at. From museums to park projects and even murals on buildings, there's always something to be seen. Now this week, the state is giving some extra love to those local artists. The Arts Council is giving out nearly $300,000 in grants for things like culture projects, programs, and art organizations. So joining me now this morning to talk a little bit more about that is the Assistant Director for the Salt Lake City Arts Council, Taylor Neff. And thank you so much for being here, Taylor. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So first off, can you tell us more about this grants program?
Absolutely. So the Salt Lake City Arts Grants Program is designed to provide financial support for arts programs and projects happening in and throughout Salt Lake City. The program is funded each year in Mayor Mendenhall's budget and then approved by the Salt Lake City Council. And each year we have grant programs which include our general operating support for arts-based nonprofits, project supports which fund a variety of projects and programs occurring throughout the city, and even an Artist in the Classroom program, which places professional artists in residency in elementary schools throughout Salt Lake City. One category which was developed this year in response to COVID-19 is our Artist Career Empowerment Grant, which actually grants funds directly to independent artists to help them in their economic recovery and stability, as arts and culture industries were among the most heavily impacted during the pandemic.
Yeah, so talk to me a little bit more about that. Why is it so important that you guys are helping those artists right now? Because obviously the pandemic was so hard on so many people, but you mentioned they were hit specifically hard.
Absolutely. That's a great question. So in the months following COVID-19, we all watched as artists and arts-based organizations across the world responded to the new realities, right? Many events were pushed into outdoor spaces. Artists who relied on in-person sales at local festivals shifted to online sales platforms, and generally coming together as community to experience the arts. It was often limited, if not impossible. But that said, over the last several months, we're seeing a resurgence of arts and culture, especially in our capital city. And not only is this resurgence great for our individual artists and our arts and culture nonprofits, but it's also great for our economy. Our friends at the Utah Cultural Alliance recently found that before the pandemic, Salt Lake City alone, arts and culture industries contributed over $13 million to our local government and $14 million to our state government. So we really view this City Arts Grants program as a source of recovery and stability for these crucial industries that really need support right now.
We are so happy they're getting your guys' help. Are there any specific projects that are coming up in the future that you're excited about?
Ooh, that's a really tough question. By and large, I'm thrilled with each and every one of the 72 awardees that received funds in the program this year. But very broadly speaking, these awards range from art performances in the back of a flatbed truck and they drive around neighborhoods throughout Salt Lake City, to playwrights in elementary schools teaching young people how to develop a story and share it with their peers, both of which seem incredibly relevant today. We also fund organizations with multi-million-dollar operating budgets that produce full symphonies and ballets, to even organizations who recycle and upcycle art materials to develop community-based art programs. So I really think there's something for everyone, regardless of your artistic preference or background, and I would encourage viewers to decide for themselves what they're most excited about and then get out and support the arts and culture scene in Salt Lake City.
Absolutely. And I know that I understand there's more funds available. Where can people go to get those, or can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, of course. So recently we launched a second round of project support grants, which will distribute another $60,000 or $70,000 to individuals, groups, nonprofit organizations for a specific purpose of programming arts-based projects, which add value to the community. So this can include concerts and performances, festivals, workshops, and readings which occur within Salt Lake City. But these are just a few examples, and I'd encourage anybody interested in applying to think creatively, of course, and then program a project that they would like to see in their community. That information can be found on Salt Lake City Arts or saltlakearts.org/city-arts-grants.
Amazing. You just answered my last question, so people can go there if they want any more information about that. Well, thank you so much for taking the time, Taylor. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Take care.